Hello, everybody, and welcome to Confessions with a Facilitator, a mini Zoom series dedicated to facilitators and their favorite tools.
Ooh.
Now, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Selena, and you know what? You might have been used with this kind of series up to now, but you might want to discover Brittany Rogozinski tonight. Certified facilitator with Access Consciousness. And for those of you who don't know what Access Consciousness is, this is my favorite image of it. This toolbox where you go pick out some tools and you change your life like magic. On one condition though, that you choose it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, Brittany, before you get to speak and I shut up, 2 rules. Rule number 1. I have to be serious about that. We have rules. Okay. So, rule number 1, we have fun, right?
I can do that.
Okay, cool. Now, rule number 2 is very specific. When rule number 1 fails to be applied, rule number 2 says you apply rule number 1.
That is so perfect because you don't know me. I'm a rule breaker, and I feel like this is actually a rule that I can follow, and I don't want to break it because I mean, no matter what, even if I did break it, it would be fun. So it's like win-win here.
Gotcha. Now, Brittany, 2 questions for you, and then I hopefully shut up. Hopefully. Yeah?
You can talk as much as you want. You're so beautiful when you talk.
Thank you so much. How somehow I got it like with a twist in it, like, you know, that kind of wedgie. I'm like on my horsey.
I'm a pretty talkative person too, so if anything, I was wedging myself as well.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Brittany, who are you and what is your favorite tool?
And go. Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, I guess I'm so many different things, but I guess for this specific call here, series, whatever this is, I will tell you how I was instructed. You want to know what I'm a facilitator of. So I am an Access Consciousness certified facilitator right now, which means I can facilitate the foundation class. I also am a facelift facilitator, which means I can facilitate the facelift class, and a body process facilitator, which means I can facilitate the body classes. Yum, yum. Yes, lick those lips. And the body classes are my favorite, of course. So even if you were to take a foundation class with me, I kind of lean towards the body being the key aspect in every single one of my classes.
I'm already leaning in.
So, you know, I think, I'm not even sure if that is an access tool really, but it, to me, one of the key things is just knowing to include your body in everything.
What?
Everything.
Knowing to include your body in everything. Okay. Before I get brain freeze, brain fried, whatever, it's 10 o'clock in the evening here. I mean, like, have mercy on me not. I don't need, oh shit, how do I say this? Tell me more. Tell me more. How do you include your body in everything? I mean, isn't it obvious?
You know, it is obvious, you would think, but I believe there's a lot of us that have somehow separated from our bodies based off of our lifetime. So it's not really like a cognitive thing, right? Like cognitively, when you refer to yourself, you're probably referring to you and your body. But because of the separation created, a lot of times I think your body requires that acknowledgement to be included. Again, go ahead.
No, just go on.
Okay, I thought you were stopping to ask a question. So, with everything, including your body, with everything, means getting your body energetically congruent with everything that you're doing. Like all of these tools, use them and then add, maybe including my body, could add to the tools, every tool, and help you to get energetically congruent, because a lot of us get it up here, but we don't get it in here.
Shit. Whoa! Example. I want to see.
Okay.
How? Okay. I'll just throw one in.
Okay.
How do you become questioned with your body?
Well, you ask to become questioned with your body. Ask a question about having your body remind you to ask questions about it. Put that out there. Your body is that smart. If you ask it for something, like a lot of times I can say, hey, body, will you wake up at this time? And it will.
Now you got me. Because, okay, so my husband doesn't do too much access. He does access by proxy. Let's call it like that, right? Okay.
He transmutes it through you.
It's like his wife is making his head like this with access tools, news, processes, whatever. However, when it comes to wake up in the morning, he's always been a master of never using a phone or a clock or
Mm-hmm.
And I was always like, how do you do that? And it was I just ask.
Yeah, it's that easy.
It's that easy.
Yeah, and some people might say it's not that easy, but it's really depends on where you're at with your body and your relationship. If you have, like I said, been through those traumatic events, you have to regain that trust and that communication and that relationship again, so that it will start listening to you. And for some people, it happens very quickly. And for some people, it takes 3 or 4 years. I mean, or longer. I mean, I'm speaking on behalf of myself. It's taken about 4 years for me to start being able to communicate with my body in that way.
Oh, maybe just a bit bitchy there.
Yes.
Was it that you started to communicate with your body, or you started recognizing and acknowledging that you were actually in a huge communication with your sweet little body?
Well, I think acknowledgement is a big part. Yes. Yes, acknowledgement is a huge part of it. And there is something about, like I said, getting that energy, moving that energy in the body beyond the walls and the barriers. I think there's something to that too. Like, in my point of view, I don't know if everyone can just flip a switch and start acknowledging communication with their body.
Where do you start, Brittany? Because, I come from a history with my body where I would be saying, you're going to do whatever I want you to do. And it would do it up to a certain, like I ran the 20 kilometers of Brussels. I started from nothing. I ran 4 times a week. And it got me to the 20 kilometers of Brussels after 8 months. But guess what? I also gained weight, like 7 kilos extra. And everybody says it's muscles.
Well, is it? I mean,
no.
So you asked where to start. So you right there, that goes into you not trusting you even, right? Like, where do you start? I don't know. Where do you start? Did you ask your body? Are you trusting your awareness?
Ooh, and how do you trust your awareness? I just, I have this, it's easy. I know it's easy. You're just going to say choose for it. And it's okay. But for somebody who just has these first glimpses of awarenesses, is this something you're born with? Is it something that you're training? Is it something you're exercising? How do you get into that? Yeah.
Well, the best tool in Access, of course, is ask a question. Like ask a question. And then my thing, I believe truly when it comes to bodies is knowing that everyone's is unique. Like your is not my answer to what my body did to get here is not going to be your answer.
Beep. My answer is not going to be your answer.
And I think that's where trips people up is they're looking for the comparison, but there's no comparison.
Okay, I'm fried. So
ask your body where to start and trust the cues. And everything is constructed for you when you ask a question. Body, what do I have to do next? And then the possibilities will present themselves to you. And then it's up to you to choose. So like if people are watching this and they ask the question, body, what would you like to choose? Maybe they can ask now, okay, body process class, access facelift class, foundation class, maybe some other possibility might pop in, like a Reiki session or
a
taking
massage or taking a nap or
there's so many possibilities, and it's up to them as the unique individual that they are to know what's going to work for their body.
Have you always done it right? I mean, did you always get those cues? Because to me, that was like, okay, my relationship with my body is, let's say that we are in a relationship. We started our relationship like about 1 year ago, 1 year and something. Okay, it was in June, since my first first 1 day body process class. So it's evolving. But fuck, how many times I got it like totally next to it.
Oh, I mean, and especially when somehow we've decided that ask a question means ask somebody else a question about you. The tool ask a question is ask a question to yourself, ask a question to your body. And so what we do is we're like asking questions, but we're seeking the answer from someone else.
Oh, it's like we are looking for some sort of a confirmation for whatever we have already decided has to be the answer.
Yeah, and then people will give you their answer. People will give you their suggestion, and then, it's another lesson to be learned. I was taking classes because I thought I had to take some of these classes, or doing something because someone said, well, why don't you try this? And I never really asked myself. And so that was a learning experience in itself to see, oh, actually, I didn't really require that. I required this, but I wasn't willing to ask myself.
Whoa. This puts me in this, how many times are we choosing something because we are convinced that somebody else knows better than we do?
Mm-hmm.
And then we go for it. And sometimes, okay, they might see something in us that we are not willing to see.
Totally.
But on the other hand, have you asked yourself a question?
Mm-hmm.
And have you trusted whatever your body was giving as a cue? Like, how many times did it happen to choose for something that your head was totally like, oh no, this is not what I would like to do. And then you didn't know what you were doing, and all of a sudden you just clicked.
Mm-hmm.
And the body was...
I think it was more like my body always knew. I think my brain always wants to respond how I want it to respond. Like, oh, should we do this? Yeah. And then I sense this energy in my body, and I notice the difference, but I talk myself into it being what I want to do. And sometimes we have to choose it that way so that we do learn in the future, okay, no, that that different feeling or that different sensation in my body
Ah,
was actually a no. And I mean, sometimes we have to spend thousands of dollars to figure that out. Like, I remember when my body was saying no to this certain event and my head was saying yes, and everybody else was saying yes. They said, I think I even like ended up having some person like have a session with me that was basically like, I just feel this is so right for you. And when you go to this event, it's going to change your life. And then I was like, well, they said the event's going to change my life. And all these other people said it is. And I think I should do it. But my body, I had this different sensation in my body. And I just was like, whatever, I'm just going to go, thousands of dollars. And after I did it, I was like, oh, that was the sensation in my body. I actually, not that I didn't receive anything from the class, I still did because I got the learning of that knowing in my body. But it was like, it was telling me it wasn't required. And I had to do
wow.
that whole thing just to learn that sensation in my body.
Wow. And yeah, and how many times do we judge those kind of choices as being right or wrong?
Oh, right. And then you go into the wrongness of, well, I can't believe I just spent all this money, or I can't believe I made the wrong choice.
And I
And
can't believe I was there and I wasn't receiving anything.
and that's another tool from Access. No wrongness. Like, would you actually believe that you are never wrong? And not just the concept, but like, you are never wrong. You're always making the right choice for you to learn or grow. Always.
I can sense some minds getting twisted with what if you were never wrong?
Yeah, and it's not just a concept.
Yeah. And what if your bodies were never wrong?
Mm-hmm. And what if everything was being orchestrated perfectly so that you could get to have more of you in whichever way you'll allow it?
Fuck yeah.
It's true.
But this brings a question in me. I learned for such a long time that whatever happens is a contribution,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I might have my sticking point of view that whatever I choose is a contribution. But somehow I get that, okay, all the choices can be a contribution, but what do you choose actually?
Mm-hmm.
In the
Right.
sense
Well, and
of,
there's a different energy behind choosing something. Like, you could actually choose something in this reality, show up for it, say and do the right things, but not actually be choosing it. And that goes back to the congruency with your body.
yeah,
You're choosing it, but you're not choosing it.
you're not totally aligned what you say with what you feel or perceive and with what you do, actually.
Right. And you can sense that if there's a fight with it. If you're like, I don't want to do it, like you're fighting with the choice, but then you're going to do it anyways, you might want to ask some more questions like, is now the time? Is it really
Wow.
the time? And I used to think that the answer to is now the time was always yes. But it's actually not always yes.
This is now the time.
Yeah.
And I can relate to some moments in my, for a very long time I used to live from this space of, I have to do it now because it's now that's presenting itself to me, and if I'm not taking this chance, then I will never ever get back to that. It's so wow, and it's a wow, and it's a wow, and it's a wow, and I cannot leave it, and I cannot leave it, as if it was a sort of an ultimatum.
Right. Yeah. And people, like, it's really funny how they have to do it like hurry, 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 fast, 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 as if, if they choose it now, that everything will happen now. But if they're not like actually congruent with it, it won't work out that way. And you'll just have to do the same thing again, probably in another year. And, it's not that it doesn't, again, it's not wrong. It's not that it doesn't help you. It does. It just.
How much more energy can you invest in something much more creative than in resisting something that you already know and your body already knows?
Yeah, exactly. And this brings, like, I'm hearing 2 Dane and Gary quotes coming in, or like 2 possibilities of the future coming up. Like, I loved this quote from Dane. He said, "Time is irrelevant, but timing is." And sometimes waiting is a power move.
Yeah, because we have this thing, we don't have patience. Is it waiting or is it patience? To me, like when you're saying waiting, to me is like, and patience is something like,
Patience to me goes along with trust.
Yeah.
It's a totally different energy. Like, you're not waiting for anything if you're in patience and trust. You simply know it's coming, it's here. Oh, what am I waiting for? It's here. There's nothing to wait for, So, yeah. And I mean, that's just the quote that I heard. Waiting is a power move, but that to me just means the energy of that is patience.
It's patience. It's the energy. To me, it's like the energy of patience. Don't put an ask over there. Don't ask your questions and then just, like you put in the seeds and you go dig the dirt out the next stage. See, has it grown? Leave it be and trust that if there's something to grow out of that, it will.
Right. Yeah. And that space there, that space of allowance and trust is what allows things to come in. One of the things that I've been playing with is pulling things to me.
And how do you do that?
By being in that space of trust and patience and asking a question without resistance or fight.
Wow.
And like, oh, what would it take? What would it take for me to be the person that someone thinks of when they go or they have extra money to spend in their bank account? What would it take for me to be the first person that pops in their head when they have extra money to spend in their bank account? And then just sitting around and waiting for the possibilities, but, following the energy. It's not that you don't do anything. It's just that you don't have to like force yourself to do anything. You're energetically like, oh, I should do this call today with Brittany. It's not a force.
I wasn't.
It's an energy that you're following.
Totally. And totally. And I mean, like, I was thinking about this series, and somehow I went down the lane to the Langkawi and to your first intervention in the class.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, if that girl can be so vulnerable in front of such a huge class, what would this create in my mini series of Zooms?
Well,
anyways,
thank you.
Thank you. I know it's, you possibly pulled me into your world, but I pulled you into mine. Haha.
And what's beautiful is what you're asking for is also asking for you.
Oh, again. Repeat that.
What you're asking for is also asking for you.
And it's not only to me personally, but it's in general. It's like,
it's the universe conspiring to meet your asks. Like, who would love to do this with me? There's so many people that can contribute to our world when we put an ask into motion. So it doesn't
Absolutely.
meet one side, it meets
It's
both.
and it's like the gifting and receiving. It's not like, you know, we're giving each other or gifting each other something, we are also receiving at the same time. And how much more can be created out of that, because the whole idea behind the series is to show people that we are people. I mean, we are facilitators, we choose for more.
What? We're not gods?
Oh fuck, you just ruined my myth.
You mean like we have like problems and like we have lives like everybody else? We don't just sit around and get fed grapes?
No.
Oh. I mean,
I was like, yeah. You just ruined my whole picture of
I have to get back to someone feeding me
how,
grapes.
yeah, and a bit
How
of
much longer do we
champagne.
have?
Let's pull someone in. And then all of a sudden you will see my husband coming, bringing me some red wine. Let's pull him in.
And that's, well, that, you know, that goes back into asking questions and being congruent, because that to me too shows you when you are congruent with something.
Yes.
You know, when you ask it and there it is.
Yeah.
And sometimes
totally.
what occurs is I will ask for something that I'm not congruent with and it will show up, but I will know I'm not congruent with it and I'll kind of push it away. But because I have this self-awareness, I'm like, okay, you know what? I asked for it. It showed up. It doesn't, for lack of a better word, feel right or congruent in my body, that my body's doing this weird sensational thing where it's telling me no. So, all right, cool. I've got some more work to do, some more clearing, some more energy to move in my body before I ask for that to show up again.
Wow. And when you're saying this, is like there's so much space to be. There's not the judgment that says, oh fuck, I asked for it and it showed up and it's not what I wanted. Oh, what's wrong with me? Oh, what's wrong with body, what did you do to me?
And that's where it goes into the time thing too, because so often we think that we're ready. Like I'm always like, I was ready yesterday, you know, I was born ready, right? And then I'll ask for the thing and it'll show up and I'm like, oh, I'm not ready. No, I can't, not possibly in these moments.
It's like, you make me think about a woman getting pregnant and, you know, she gets pregnant today and she gets the baby tomorrow. And all the excitement and, I'm not ready. Keep it for 9 months and then give it to me. Something like that. I mean,
yeah. I've had that happen with my ask so many times that I just laugh at myself. And I also like love the humor of the universe because, like I said, it will bring it to you. But if you're not congruent, you might as well just start laughing about the whole situation because it's not going to turn out how you expect it to ever. But especially if you're not congruent with it.
Yeah. And then again, it's like, I just got this image of a souffle. You know what a souffle is? You make that cake, you put it in the oven, you blah, 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 and then at the last moment you take it out and it's maybe 1 second longer in the oven or 1 second earlier, and then it's a souffle. But
yep.
And when you see it, you asked for it, it's there, it's in front of you. It's just you might have missed one ingredient, so rushing. And then there's the body always saying to you, always telling you, yes, no, no, yes, no, yes. Are you willing to listen to that?
Yeah, and are you willing to just ask, you know, I really want to stress for people that are listening to this that are like, oh, well, how do I get congruent with your body? Well, like I said, ask your body, what will it take? and follow the energetic cues that it gives you, because in my point of view, not everybody is where they're at, where they could be at to receive this information with their body. Like for me, maybe I always had capacities with my body, yes, and I did need to acknowledge them, but I also did a lot of energetic work, whatever that means, play. I did a lot of energetic play to actually be able to sense it and get that energy from it before, because when I first started, it was like I was talking to a wall. You know,
And
I was like, hello, body, and it was like there was nothing. It was like it was dead.
hello. And it's
it is possible, and it does change, and it's really just dependent on your unique, incomparable circumstances and your unique, incomparable body.
Yeah,
it's that easy.
that's easy. And maybe one thing that I would like to add is, please don't make it serious. When it comes to bodies, please don't make it serious. Play with it. I mean, there's no right, there's no wrong. There's just, okay, cool. So you're showing me this? Wow, fun. Can you show it to me in another way that it's even more fun, or that it's more ease, or that it's more joy, and it might not come out joyfully the first time.
Or could you just have joy with how it is showing you it?
Exactly. It might not.
Like, yay, I'm sick. I'm so excited. How does it get better? I love you, body. Like, this is so exciting. I wonder what changes we're going through.
Well, that would be such a wonderful, how should I say, go-to set phrases and questions when you feel like shit and your body is showing you so much stuff that you're not willing to look at, and then just go to that. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm
like, every time I have a body pain, I'm like, yes, I wonder what I'm changing. This is amazing. And how can you use body pain to your advantage? How could you use sickness to your advantage? I mean, who wants to take care of you? How much fun could you have having a day off in bed? I mean, it doesn't have to be something you have to fix.
So how much fun can you have with being sick or whatever, intense?
Yeah.
Wow.
And excited. I mean, truly, if you think of every pain in your body, when you start facilitating and asking your body to change, sometimes it does revisit those old traumas to let them go. So instead of being like, oh, I have pain, be like, oh, I have pain.
I have pain.
I'm changing things. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, it's so fun. How does it get any better? Wow.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for having brought the bodies into conversation. Mine is like, it's like giggling and, yay, you're talking about me. And
yes, we're here.
Yeah, and I wish you at least to start to be willing. And then what else is possible?
Yes. I love that question. What else is possible? And maybe include your body. Like, what else is possible, body? Show me.
What else is possible, body? Show me. Brittany, thank you so much for this fun conversation on bodies. I think our bodies are like, oceans apart, but they are so communicating, and we are and it's fun. And thank you so much for this play energy that you're bringing into it. When it's not serious, this is so much. Yay!
Exactly. And that is what life is about. And having a body, having fun.
Wow. But wait, before we say goodbye.
Yes.
where do people find you if they decide to stalk you or follow you or find you? Where do they do that?
So most of my events are on Facebook, but I do also have a website and an Instagram and all of that. So if you just search Brittany Rogozinski, and my name is right there, if you want to type it in. It's a
No
long
worries,
name.
you're not going to see it when
Oh,
the
okay.
recording is
Well,
taken, but
it's
I'm going to make sure that, yeah.
Rogozinski, yeah, just so it's www.brittanyrogozinski.com. My Facebook page has most of my stuff on it. And if you have any questions, I'm very open and usually available to connect online. So just pop me an instant message on Facebook, on Instagram. I will respond to you.
And
Me.
and I will just drop a hint. Go on SoundCloud and look for her amazing energy pool she did sometime last year in September.
Yes, I've
I'm
got
not
a lot
wrong.
of likes on that one energy poll on there. So maybe I should add
You've got
another one.
my like as well.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm going to add another one now since you said that. I'm going to put one up today. I think
Cool.
it's going to be on money. Look for it.
Special dedication for us today.
Yes. How does it get better? How awesome. Thank you for reminding me that I should update my SoundCloud.
You're so welcome. And thank you so much for these moments. And well, how does it get any better?
How does it get better?
And until next time, wherever in the world, live or virtually, see you. Thank you so much.